Welcome. Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Friday, February 11, 2022. Brought to you by Vulcan Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24/7 with the Vulcan online store. Just go to shop.vulcan.com.ph. For today's editorial, Troubled Times in the Hermit Kingdom. North Korea boasts that it has assembled an arsenal of missiles, some which could hit targets in the United States mainland, only stokes up the already simmering tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. The North Korean Foreign Ministry proclaimed, "In today's world, where many countries waste time dealing with the United States with submission and blind obedience, there's only our country on this planet that can shake the world by firing a missile with the US mainland in its range." There are more than 200 countries in the world, but only a few have hydrogen bombs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and hypersonic missiles. The boast is anything but empty. Last month, Pyongyang test-fired at least 7 missiles, including the Hwasong-12, a cruise missile which could travel at hypersonic speed. The Foreign Ministry contends that the missiles were part of North Korea's war deterrence, but that's a claim many find difficult to accept. North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-Un, was never shy in showing his disdain for the US and its Western allies. He continues to defy calls to close down nuclear test sites that blatantly violate non-proliferation rules and has been getting away with it. The US usually reacts to Pyongyang's provocations by sending its warships to the waters that separate the Korean peninsula from Japan or threatening further economic sanctions. Strangely, the initial US response this time was a bland statement from a State Department spokesman that the US, quote, has a vital interest in deterring North Korea, defending against its provocations or uses of force, limiting the reach of its most dangerous weapons programs, and above all, keeping the American people, our deployed forces, and our allies safe. Kim Jong-un, however, thrives on badgering the US and probing the limits of its patience. It's his way of holding Washington's attention. But political observers see a more sinister reason behind his posturing. There are reports that the trade and other sanctions imposed to North Korea are beginning to take a heavy toll. The coronavirus lockdowns in the country may have also slowed trade with China, Pyongyang's neighbor and minder. Last December, Kim Jong-un warned his people of a great life and death struggle this year if the economy continues to shrivel. It was rare for Kim to publicly admit that the country was falling on hard times. In 2020, the deadly combination of sanctions, the pandemic, and bad weather led to the biggest contraction of the economy in 23 years. To head off a major crisis, Kim now wants grain production stepped up in an effort to shore up the food supply. According to the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights, the most vulnerable among North Korea's population of 25 million risk starvation. In the face of an impending catastrophe, the regime is trying to protect an image of a strong and prosperous country. Nothing says that better than a missile fired from a submarine, notes Harry Kazianis, Senior Director of Korean Studies at the Center for the National Interest. Kim tried to engage the US and the world's attention by playing the buddy game with President Donald Trump. But after 3 failed summits, Kim scrapped the charade. Pyongyang dropped hints it was willing to open fresh talks with President Joe Biden. Again, that option did not prosper, leaving Kim with no choice but to deal with the missile hand. Washington, however, is taking a measured approach to Pyongyang's latest goading, its focus being squarely on the Ukraine crisis and the looming confrontation with Russia. While we have assessed that this event does not pose an immediate threat to U.S. personnel, territory, or that of our allies, we will continue to monitor the situation, was all the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command had to say. although it added that the U.S. commitment to the defense of South Korea and Japan remains ironclad. That leaves the Philippines and the other Indo-Pacific countries pondering Kim Jong-un's next move. The region is already on edge as global rivals position themselves for what is shaping up to be the next Cold War. Spare us the additional aggravation. And that's the editorial for Friday, February 11, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And listen to the voice of the Times.